Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be going through my favorite wearable MTB products. Those are the products I grab every time I go out for a ride, the products I enjoy using, the products that I will tend to rebuy if I can. So in no particular order, let's dive in. Knee protection. Not the sexiest thing in the world, but after you've been through about 4 or 5 brands and none of them have made the cut, I was so happy to get my hands on the Troy Lee Designs 5450s. Now, like I said, I've tried 4 or 5 brands in the past. They have all managed to slide down my leg at just the wrong moment, i.e. on a crash. Every single one of them, on every impact, meaning they are completely and utterly useless. I've tried different brands, I've tried different types of systems on the bag with the Velcro. Everyone claims to have the best system, and just for me all of them have failed. I'm talking big brands as well. I ordered these because obviously they had great reviews, they were a great price. I was looking for something with shin protection as well, but when these turned up I actually thought that they sent me a kid's size by mistake. They hadn't. They're just really this small. So I wouldn't say that they are shin protectors. This won't do anything. These are not full leg protectors at all. They basically just go down a little bit below the knee. I don't know how they can have the cheek to call these shin protectors, but there we are. That aside, they are fantastic. They are incredibly lightweight. They are incredibly comfortable. I forget I have them on once they're on. And the most important thing is every time I've fallen, they have stayed up and stayed in position. I can't ask for more than that. I really can't. The only thing I can criticise them about them is that if when I'm out on a ride, I will have to pull them up every now and again as they will slide down a little bit, ironically, because they stay in place whenever I crash. But riding, they will go down a little bit. But I couldn't be happy with these. The pricing on them was great as well. As with everything I've got, all the products I'm going to show you today, I got them all on offer, as we all do nowadays online. And they weren't particularly expensive at all. I can't remember the pricing now, but I'll leave a link below in the description and you'll be able to find a decent deal online. Highly recommended. So staying with Troy Lee Designs for a minute, I'm going to show you my regular lid. Now this doesn't get worn very often, so this isn't a go-to helmet, so to speak. As I tend to recall with my GoPro on the chin mount, I'm always on a full face. The rare few rides I get to go on without a full face, this is the helmet I take every time. This is a Troy Lee Designs A1. I find the Troy Lee gear just really comfortable and really solid quality. This is a very lightweight trail lid. It's MIPS. What can I say? It just fits really well. I have a wider head. Maybe I should in the future look for a full face Troy Lee Designs as well, because the fit is good for me. It's very comfortable, and again I just forget I have it on. I think that's the true sign of any good quality gear, is that you just forget that you have it on, and for me that's the Troy Lee Designs A1. It's a really good helmet. I really recommend this, and again on offer. I think I got it for about 90 euros, maybe a year or so ago, 2 years ago, but again you'll be able to find this on offer all over the place. Top helmet. Now, I don't know if you're like me when it comes to eyewear, but typically in the past, had bought a new pair of glasses pretty much every season. I would buy ENDURA or Spirit or whatever was sort of on offer at the time, and they would last the season. Either the arm bands, the rubber grips on the arms would fall apart, or the lenses would be all scratched up, so I'd maybe buy new replacement lenses, and that was a cheap option as well to keep them going, but then the arms would come apart. They would typically last a season, and I would do that every season, and you know, you're spending 40-50 euros every time and it adds up. So I finally decided to bite the bullet. I really did bite the bullet, because I went with a pair of RUDY Defender glasses. Now these came in at 190 euros. Not really many offers available on these glasses. What actually attracted me to these glasses were the fact that they have photochromic or photochromatic lenses. I'm not quite sure how you say this. That means that regardless of the conditions you're riding in, whether you're in the woods, whether you're out in the mountains, whether you're out in the clear sun, the lenses will adapt to the amount of light you have and make sure you can always see. Now for me this was the main selling point, because in the winter, particularly when we're riding through the woods and coming out onto alpine style mountainsides, then the light changes drastically. You can either can't see or the sun is just too bright, and these handle that change in light fantastically. I couldn't be happy with them. They're very comfortable, they're very lightweight. Durability I can't really speak to so far. I got these before the summer. Jorge, who you've seen in many videos, has had these for a year or so, year and a half or so, and they are still going strong. But they are very well built. Obviously the price, I'm hoping I can justify the price with time, and that they will be durable enough to justify the purchase. They're big, you know, as most expensive glasses are for some reason. Maybe you just have to show everyone that you're wearing expensive glasses. I don't know. But I'm really pleased so far. The quality on the lens is great. The only thing I will say is that if you do get mud or anything on there, like a spot of mud and it dries off, if you just wipe it off when it's dry after, I think it's actually left tiny little spots on the lens where I think it may well have removed the coating that they give to make them photochromatic. So I'm going to have to be very careful with that in the future, that if I do have a dirty lens, to make sure I'm wiping it when it's damp and not dry, because I'm guessing it scratches it off. So in that sense, they might be delicate, but fingers crossed. A few videos back, I did a review on my 510 Freeriders, the 10,000 kilometer review. But they'd had their day. There were holes in the soles and they were just knackered. And you couldn't ask for more, 10,000 kilometers. So I asked all you guys for suggestions, and you came back with loads of different brands and loads of different recommendations. And in the end, I went with some Shimanos. And I know a few of you were surprised by this because, you know, Shimanos I think are more well known for their clipped-in shoes. But these are the Shimano, let's have a look, GR9s. I just have to check that. The reason I went with these in the end, there were a couple of things. One, the price was fantastic. They were like 60 euros, 65 euros maybe. You know, the Freeriders coming at over 100. And the other thing as well was the fact that the laces are completely covered. I ride in very natural trails where they're very often overgrown, and having the laces completely covered over is fantastic. It just means I'm not going to get pulled apart every which way. The other positive points about these are they are incredibly comfortable, far more comfortable than the Freeriders. They don't pinch the end of my toes on longer rides, as did the Freeriders. They weigh a lot less than the Freeriders, and they're just great to have on all day. You know, you just forget you have them on. The only thing I will say against them is that in the heat, in the sun more to the point, they can get very hot because they are like a plastic material. The heat will come and they will beat down the plastic and your feet will cook. If you're living in colder countries, if you're living in the UK, not going to be a problem. But in Spain in the summer, I did notice that my feet were actually very hot. But one plus of that is that they're also pretty waterproof. So I haven't been out much in the water on these, but I certainly haven't had any wet feet since buying them. I'm incredibly happy. Like, I had the 510s for years, so moving to a different brand, to a different style was a bit of a worry. You know, we fork out a lot of money for these things, but I'm very pleased with these so far. Very pleased. So this the Shimano GR9s, great buy. So another important item on the list, and usually not particularly sexy either, the glove department. Now you can see these are tatty as hell. These have finished the season and they are ready to be binned pretty much. I'll keep them as a backup, but these are my ENDURA HUMVEE Plus. Now typically I'll buy the ENDURA MT500s if I can get my hands on them. In this case the deal was on the HUMVEEs, and I'm always on the look for the deals. But the reason I really like the ENDURAs is, yes, they will only last a season for me. They will be at the point where they just holes through the fingers or through the knuckles in the case of these gloves, but they are very comfortable. The fit for me is fantastic. I have quite large hands, not hugely large, but the extra large ENDURAs fit me like a glove, pun intended, and that's the important thing. The other thing I will say is obviously that, you know, the kind of riding we do, that I look for, you know, sort of more protection. The HUMVEE Plus actually don't have hardly any protection at all. They have a bit of sort of suede leather on the palm, but that's it. The MT500s come with a lot more padding and a lot more protection on the knuckles, and which I actually prefer. But like I said, I just couldn't find a deal at the time when I purchased these. But ENDURA gloves are the ones I go for every single time because of the comfort, the fit. Pricing, yeah, they're not the cheapest gloves on the market at all, but I'm all about the fit and the comfort here. If you can make any recommendations for a sort of similar sizing brand. I hate having overhang on the fingers, and I hate them being too snug against the inside. So for me, the ENDURAs are perfect. And while I'm talking about ENDURA, a little mini sort of purchase might seem a little absurd. is the Endura neck warmer, or the buff, or whatever you want to call it in Spanish, the buff or braga. But I wear this on nearly every single ride, barring the summer, because where I live is at 650 meters, but then we ride up to about sort of 1800 meters, 2000 meters. And obviously the weather will change drastically from it's always out with me, or it's at least in my backpack always. And they don't cost anything. One thing you won't see me wearing very often at all, but is a necessity regardless of the country you're living in, unless you're riding in Dubai maybe, but that is a rain jacket. Now this is by a brand called DHB. I'd never actually heard of the brand before. I bought this off Bike Discount last year. Actually, I think I bought it just on the off season, so it was cheaper again. Always looking for those deals. I'd previously owned an Endura, I think it was the MT500, and while it's a great looking jacket, the waterproofing lasted a season. Maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's something that Endura just do. Everything lasts a season. I hope not. No, that's not true. I have Endura shorts. They've lasted 3 years and they still look new. But the waterproofing did wear off, and you just couldn't wear it anymore. Even just the slightest bit of drizzle, and you would get soaked. So I went online, checked out a few different deals, checked out the reviews for this, the DHB. I'm not actually sure of the model. I'll try and leave links to everything below in the description. The thing that I really liked about this jacket was the fit. Obviously, being a biking jacket, it would come down over your bum, cover you from going through all those puddles, that slop, the rain coming down. The fit is really, really nice. It's quite close fitting, but it does give you room to move about in. In fact, I wear this out as a normal coat sometimes as well. On the days that it's raining, I just really like the way it looks. Is it waterproof? Yes, it is. You won't get wet at all. The only thing I will say about that is that because it is so waterproof, you also can't breathe. So you may well get wet from the inside out. Obviously, you can ventilate, bring the zips down or whatever, open up the pockets. That will help, but it is a very, very warm coat. But I'm willing to take that, I'd rather be a little bit warm and be able to open up the zip rather than just getting soaked from the get-go. So I'm really pleased with that. Anytime the rain comes along, this comes out with me without a doubt. And so last but not least, never leave home without it. I know a lot of people don't use backpacks anymore, and I'm very much in the minority. All the cool kids and even the not so cool kids are all wearing hip packs now, or fanny packs, or bum bags, or whatever you want to call them. But you know what? I still wear a backpack on 99% of my rides, and for one simple reason: the back protector. Even if it was just a normal rucksack or a backpack, I would feel more protected. But the fact that this has a built-in back protector makes me feel a lot safer. Outside of that, obviously it's a CAMELBAK KUDU 12 litre, so we've got quite a lot of space to carry the bits and pieces. Small first aid kit. I've got my water, obviously. I've got a 2.5 litre water pack in there. I can carry my helmet, carry the full face on there with the camera as well. It's just got room for pretty much everything. But again, as I said, I primarily wear this for safety reasons. I know a lot of people are willing to forego this. I'm just not. So, I'm getting on. I'll do everything I can to prevent injury, and this is one of those things. CAMELBAK, obviously not the cheapest bags on the market. This was actually a present from the boys at Track MTB. Thank you, boys. It's still going strong after I've had this for 2 years now, and apart from being a little bit dirty, it's like it was brand new. If you're even a slight bit concerned about safety and back protection, then I would definitely recommend looking for a backpack with a built-in back protector. So anyway, guys, those are my go-to wearable mountain bike products. Let me know what your go-to products are below, whether that's wearable, whether that's gadgets, whether that's tech, whether that's anything that you just will always grab before you go out on that bike ride. We've all got those favourite products that we love, ones that have come and gone, ones that you plan on buying. Let me know, because I'm going to do a couple of different variations on this video with the tech that I use, as well as the clothing and my biking gear as well, and components and all that kind of stuff, just stuff that I was always love, stuff that I would just change as soon as I buy a new bike, or clothing that needs to be replaced and buy the exact same item again. We've all got those items, so let me know yours. Hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta la próxima. And hit like.